I was driving with my kids on Sunday, and my mind was elsewhere as I turned the steering wheel. I was looking at a cluster of leafless trees when the first words of Donald Trump's social media post came to my mind. Arrow right. This was the post in which he promised readers that together they would remove the warmongers from our government, and exorcise him. Globalists, throw out the communists. Marxists and fascists, of course, defeat the fake news media. As my kids sat in their car seats behind me, my mind understandably went there. What does it mean to lead the media? What does it mean that man who is almost certain to be the Republican presidential nominee next year and has a very good chance of winning election wants to disrupt me and my colleagues? When this question came to my mind, Trump's post was successful. He wants me and others who work in this industry to be uneasy. And more importantly, he wants his supporters to know that he can make us uncomfortable. But that was only the most personal part of what he was threatening. Of course, along with threats to others he and his base viewed as enemies. As Dan Balls of The Washington Post wrote over the weekend, everyone should assume that Trump is very serious about his intention to take revenge on his enemies. His efforts to inflict full damage on his opponents during his first term were sporadic and often ineffective. He will likely receive more support and achieve more success in his second term. It remains true that this is rhetoric aimed at a specific emotional response. But it is more likely that Trump, now in office, will try to make these things than when he made more subtle threats 8 years ago. Especially when we go back to that first statement that this will be the last war. Trump has used this phrase a lot this year. He used it at the Conservative Political Action Conference. He used it at his first campaign rally in Waco, Texas. This event took place on the 30th anniversary of a deadly standoff between government agents and a religious sect in that city. He used it again this summer when speaking to Turning Point Action. The same frame over and over again. The final battle is approaching. There is a rhetorical element here too that cannot be ignored. Before the 2016 election, Trump told an interviewer, "I think if I don't win, this will be the last election." His claim was that Hillary Clinton's election would mean that immigrants to United States, a group Trump demonized as he sought the Republican nomination, would be given right to vote and oppose Republicans indefinitely. This was unlikely. But it was important for Trump to portray election in most absolute terms possible, placing importance of election above all else and thus increasing turnout. The interviewer was David Brody, then of the Christian Broadcasting Network. So Trump also framed the struggle in religious terms: if we don't win this election, you'll never see another Republican again. And you'll have a